Hi there, everyone. We'll be doing a special new moon mini reading for each of the signs in succession in this video. So today is the new moon in Aquarius, filming on January 27th, Friday. So I thought to do a mini reading on this day, as the cycles of the moon are rather profound, and the impact that they have on our psyche is one that, if we tune into it right carefully, we can kind of uncover our impulses, right? The building of emotions, but most importantly, our intuition, right, speaking to us. Oftentimes in the tarot, the moon card, right, speaks to one's sense of intuition. So absolutely the new moon period and the full moon period, but really the new moon period is a period of delving deep within our psyche, right? It's the moment in space where the moon is completely dark. There's no reflection from the sun upon it, right? It's in terms of a plant, right? It's the seeding phase. It's when we're planting the seed, and in a way we're underground, okay? So it's the preparation for a new cycle to begin. And it can be a period of sifting through sort of the shadows, so to speak, and what looms there, what we don't normally face or confront, right, day in and day out. So it's a period of introspection, of reflection, of truth with ourselves, and even rather ironically, of clarity, right? Even though there is no light, or perhaps yet any answers, clear, definitive answers, there's still the clarity of our intuition, the strength and the resonance of that intuition speaking quite loudly. So all we have to do is tune in, take a moment to connect with ourselves and plant the seeds, right? Connect with what we really want to bring forward and manifest in this new cycle. Okay, so with having said that, I'm going to pull 3 cards for each of the signs, unless the spread otherwise directs me, which sometimes it does. The Pisces reading for February was quite interesting in the way that it directed me, so you never know. But yes, 3 cards for each sign. It's going to kind of give a sense for as we enter this sort of germination period, we'll call it that, of the new moon, in a way detoxing and leaving behind sort of the excess energies of the last cycle and what no longer serves us. We kind of move forward into this new phase, okay, of the moon, and thus ourselves. So these 3 cards will sort of pertain to that cycle and any sort of advice as you let go of what you may need to let go of, and what you are instead reorienting your focus on. Okay, if that makes sense. So, all right, we're going to start with Capricorn. I was shuffling a little bit off camera, And out popped the Eight of Pentacles, rather unsurprisingly given Capricorn's very career-oriented nature. Okay, it is an earth card, an earth element, and it depicts this spider weaving this web, right, meticulously, with careful attention, being so focused on the task at hand, right, being so zoomed in. It can also speak to a sort of narrow-mindedness, right? Now, within the context of the new moon, Capricorn, this can speak to almost a funneling in on what really matters for you to focus on. I would say particularly in regards to your career, perhaps your finances, but ultimately whatever brings you a sense of groundedness, security, okay, stability. This is sort of the acquaintance with what really matters within the situation at hand. Okay, so it's focusing on the core of an issue. Okay, really sifting aside everything else that just does not matter and does not pertain, right? And it's getting really clear about how we want to move forward. Okay, zeroing in on that truth. Yes, Capricorn. And on this card, you can see 8 pentacles, right? Lined up symmetrically on either side. And the spider is almost not even minding the pentacles, right? He's just in his own world, spinning this web at the very core. So I'm sensing that amongst the options of things, right? Different avenues that you can pursue, you are now getting really serious and really centered on what it is you want to manifest and bring forward in this next new stage. It's a beautiful time at the new moon to do that. It's really a moment of planting the seeds. So that's beautiful, Capricorn, okay? Okay, we'll pull 2 more cards for you to give a sort of further insight or anything else that may need to be shared here. Okay. I'm sensing these 2 want to come out. Let's flip those over. Okay, Capricorn. We have the 3 of Swords in reverse. Again, a beautiful time to pull this card. The releasing of any heartbreak, sense of betrayal, sense of loss, okay? It can be in terms of love, but really it can be in terms of any sort of even entanglement, okay? In the workplace, in the home, in terms of love, even within our own mind, okay, feeling entrapped, that feeling is now being pulled out, and there's a very clear decision, right, that was made by you, I believe, to let go of that, to focus on what matters and not get distracted by all of the white noise or plethora of alternatives, right, of things to consider. So there's definitely clarity rising. Absolutely. We saw that here as well. But the decision is being made. You have Justice. Major Arcana. It's a significant decision. And I'm getting that it is, even with this Eight of Pentacles. but it could be leading into an Ace of Pentacles, which is a new beginning, okay? Choosing one of these pentacles and moving forward with it, okay? So, beautiful Capricorn. It's a beautiful way to start this lunar period, okay? Now, feel free to check out as well your ascendant or your moon sign. If you don't know what that is, there's a link below in the description box. You can figure out your signs there. But regardless, we will be moving on to the sign of Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Here we go. New moon period for Aquarius. What needs to be said for Aquarius? Justice as well. Wow, lots of decisions, lots of clarity coming up for the signs here, particularly Capricorn and Aquarius that we just saw. Just pulled that card for Capricorn, okay? What? Again? Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. Okay. Aquarius, I'm a little bit in awe because, well, the universe is a place of no coincidence, right? So, Justice and the Eight of Pentacles just pulled these two cards for Capricorn. As I just mentioned to Capricorn, there's clarity. Clarity of deciding amongst many options of things, right? The one thing, the true thing that brings us a sense of stability and groundedness, okay? It's getting really clear. And a decision is being made, right, in terms of how you want to proceed, okay? And I'm getting that there is a lot of white noise, perhaps, among in your midst, right? As you many different opinions, even from different people. I know we touched upon this in the February reading for Aquarius, okay? Yes, but I'm seeing there is a clear decision point, right? That's being met here, which is a beautiful time to do it, right? With the new moon. Yes, pursuing what matters to you. I'm going to pull one more card, Aquarius, for you guys, okay? Interesting. Okay, Aquarius. The Nine of Pentacles popped out. You got this card in your February reading, okay? So this new moon is kind of prefacing moving into February. Okay, this is the sort of the planting of seeds as you move into February. Okay, you got this Nine of Pentacles in reverse in your February reading. You now have it upright. You have two Pentacles cards. You have a Justice. So Nine of Pentacles, generally speaking, to the culmination, right? A sense of bringing a project to culmination, okay? And that's what we were referring to in your February reading. The feeling of being almost overwhelmed by a sense, almost too much security, right? That you are now spreading apart all of the debris, right? All these pentacles. And it's interesting, you're going from an 8 to a 9, right? You're taking a step down. You're saying, wait a second, right? Feeling overburdened by maybe the options, or feeling oppressed in some way by your environment, right? Feeling like you need to draw clarity from within you, right? Coming forward with a decision. And focusing very clearly on one thing and one decision that matters to you. Okay, that matters to you. The spider is in the very center. He's just focusing on what's in front of him. He's not concerned with all the pentacles on the side, right? He's not concerned with all these 9 pentacles. He's now concerned with his own sense of security within himself, okay? Again, alluding to the independence, the element of independence that we saw in the February reading for Aquarius. Okay, so check that out if you guys are interested. Don't forget to view your ascendant or moon sign. Those often resonate as well. They could provide some further insight, perhaps. If you don't know your rising or your moon sign, feel free to click the link below and you can figure it out through those fields on that page. All right. Thanks so much, Aquarius. It seems like an excellent time to be making this decision, connecting to this, your inner sense of intuition, okay, and drawing upon you this newfound clarity, okay? We are moving into Pisces now. Cool. Okay, Pisces. I see you smiling, Pisces. I'm smiling right now. I'm feeling like you're smiling. I'm feeling like you're happy, Pisces. Okay? Did this come up in your February? The 4 of Pentacles in reverse? It might have. Okay, Pisces. 4 of Pentacles in reverse, 2 of Wands upright, the 6 of Wands in reverse. Okay, yes, absolutely. Look at this. The 2 of Wands, dead center, rising up. This is focused, channeled, inner vitality, passion, drive, fire, movement forward, motion. Motion is happening. Whereas previously there was stagnancy, perhaps. You're now rising above that and being reborn, Pisces. Absolutely. We saw, I think, several of these cards actually in your February. And if not, absolutely we saw the concept. So take a look at that if you haven't yet. Yes, a period of trying to strategize, rumination, right? There's now clarity with that. You're now moving forward in a very explicit direction. There's a lot of clarity, okay? The rebirth has happened. You are now in flight and you're now taking action and moving forward in a direction that you're so zeroed in on, that you're so connected to, that really speaks to your fire and your passion, okay? And your inner truth. You're very aligned. It's a straight path, Pisces. You're very aligned with the direction you're moving in. I'm sensing before there was a lot of chaos, there was a lot of confusion, there was a lot of, trying to decide, weighing things out. What do I do? How do I do this? Is this right? Do I want it? You're now clear, okay? And you're moving forward. A great time to plant those seeds. A beautiful time for the new moon to have that energy peeking through. All right, Pisces? Feel free to check out your ascendant and your moon sign, just in case, as those are oftentimes also quite accurate. Okay, could provide you with some extra insight. If you don't know your ascendant or your moon, there's a link in the description box and you can put your info there and check it out. All right. We're now moving on to Aries. Okay, you are moving slowly into something. There is a slow moving energy. I'm feeling almost like a heaviness. Okay, there's a heaviness to you, Aries. I'm feeling like almost sluggish, like not being in a fog, like not being able to, so like having restricted movement or like breath in some way. Something is heavy is holding you down. You're not able to see it clearly. You're not able to really understand what's happening maybe with you as well. So there's a sense of okay. There's a sense of heaviness. Okay. Interesting. Wow. Oh my god. Okay, I was not going to flip over the deck, but I did. Just it was an impulse. It was intuitive, rather. You have all Pentacles cards, Aries. All. You have the Nine of Pentacles, which just popped out for Aquarius. You may want to check that segment out if you have an ascendant in Aquarius or you have a moon in Aquarius. If you don't know, then check with the link below to find out. But very interesting. Okay. I'm sensing that there was a destabilization of security and groundedness, something that's perhaps making you dwell and sulk, right? Ruminating on the past, almost past losses or something that happened, being stuck in that sort of phase of thinking about what happened, right? Earth energy, which is the Pentacles, is heavy, slow moving energy. It's the slowest of the elements. Okay, you got them all, and that's perhaps why I was feeling that heavy energy. You have at the very bottom of the deck the Father of Pentacles. That is the highest expression of the earth energy. So I'm sensing that there is a grand need of achieving true stability and groundedness within yourself, dependent on yourself. And that can be financially, that can be emotionally, that can be in many different ways. But I'm sensing that that is the theme, right? That's overlooking this new beginning. Okay, this new beginning is really speaking to your need for independence and self-sufficiency. It could be perhaps in many ways. And I'm sensing that you're stuck ruminating on perhaps a lack of that. Being stuck in the process, right? It's a process. You're trying to achieve this Father of Pentacles. You're trying to achieve this ultimate sense of self-sufficiency and groundedness, stability, but you are stuck at the 5, right? From the Ace to the 10 to the Son, daughter, or daughter, son, either way, mother, father, right? You're stuck at the 5 here, it seems. Slow, stagnation, right? Ruminating on past, perhaps losses, things that didn't work out, things that you thought gave you stability but didn't, right? That sort of thing. And you have the Son of Pentacles on the right-hand side, you have the Nine of Pentacles on the left. It's almost, there's a lot of pressure to attain this ultimate sense of stability, inner stability and groundedness. But you're conflicted, Aries. You're conflicted. On the left side here, we have the Nine of Pentacles. On the right side, the Son of Pentacles. Yes, they are both Pentacles. Yes, they are both speaking to the earth element. However, the Nine of Pentacles is almost a materialism, almost an excess. Look at this card. It's an excess of Pentacles. It's even an illusion of stability and groundedness, right? The feathers are what encase this sort of configuration, this diamond of contained pentacles. But those feathers can float away, right? They're not firm and stable, right? Permanent, which oftentimes the earth element speaks to, right? Permanence, a feeling of long-term permanence. This is not reliable, right? This is a false sense of reliability, a false sense of stability and groundedness. It's the things we accumulate, right? That we think are going to give us a sense of stability, right? It's almost like surrounding ourselves with things that are distractions, right? Things that give us a false sense of security to an overwhelming degree even. But then you have on this right-hand side this Son of Pentacles depicted by a deer marching into this Five of Pentacles. Look at this card and look at this card together. It's the Son of Pentacles is almost urging you to take a more mature approach towards achieving your sense of groundedness and stability. It's almost trying to push out these two cards. These are almost like petty earth. It's like the process of achieving stability. Whereas the Sun and the Daughter and the Mother and the Father of Pentacles are more the embodiment of that energy, right? Like once we've done the work, you are now the Son of Pentacles in a way. You've attained, you have that inner wisdom, the positive, healthy manifestation of that element. That's how I'm seeing it here particularly, okay? That's how I'm seeing it here. So the Son of Pentacles is like the very start of the journey as a independent, financially independent, and in other ways, right? Independent and stable, grounded journey, right? This deer is not surrounded by 10 pentacles, 9 pentacles, right? 8 pentacles. This deer has 1 pentacle atop his head in a way, right? And it's surrounded by the moon, guided by intuition, by wisdom, inner wisdom. But he's not even looking at the pentacle. It's like not even focused on the pentacle. He's focused on his journey ahead. He feels stable within himself, right? To the degree that he doesn't need to focus on the physical pentacle, right? It's ironic because sometimes we associate a sense of stability or groundedness with something tangible or physical, right? Which is the earth element. But in a way, that's an illusion, right? Feeling stable and grounded really comes from within ourselves, right? In the true sense of being grounded, right? Perhaps is realizing that we don't need the tangible things to feel grounded, because when we do get caught up in the perception of needing the tangible things, we then sulk on the loss of them, right? Then it becomes a matter of quantity versus quality, perhaps even, okay? Rather than turning inwards towards your intuition about the situation and proceeding with inner stability, okay, and reliance on yourself, okay? So there's a bit of confliction, I feel, Aries, right? As you move forward, you might be feeling the heaviness, the weight of the pressure to take either approach, right? Is it about accumulation? Is it about setting out on my own and really discovering my sense of stability from within myself, right? So it's a moment, I feel, it's a moment of really digging deep and thinking about that question, right? And about what really is going to bring us true stability, right? As our intuition guides us. So thank you, Aries, for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful new moon. And again, feel free to tune into your ascendant or moon segment of this reading, as sometimes those are just as accurate, if not more. So now we are moving into Taurus. Okay, Taurus. I am getting an active feeling, almost like a dancing feeling. Energy moving. I think I felt this as well in your February. So you could be getting ready for February. That energy could be building, could be starting. Wow, Taurus, the world. Straight up and out, the world. The world is yours. The world is yours, okay? I'm going to pull the other two cards before I get to that one. You have some optimism. You're excited for something, Taurus. You're ready for something. You are looking up. You are looking up. You are looking up. These two wanted to come out. I'm going to pull them, all right? Here we go, Taurus. Okay. You have the Three of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, the World, and the Seven of Swords. Two Swords cards, one Pentacle, and the World. I sense you're bringing something into manifestation, absolutely laying the groundwork, building. You have a lot of there's a lot of energy, right, that you're putting into backing this thing, starting this thing that you're hoping is going to bring you to the sort of pinnacle, right, of what you're trying to bring into reality here. Yes. And it's the beginning stages, I'm sensing, right? But there's a lot of activity. You're active in it. You're taking the reins with it. You are seeing this through. In a way, you've made a decision. Clarity is had. Yes. You're seeing into the future. You're seeing into the future, Taurus, right? Look here. You have this Three, right, of Pentacles. It's sort of like the mountain, if you can see. There's an illustration of the mountain. I'm getting the sense that this is also kind of like a mountain. Look at these two swords crossing. It kind of looks like a mountain. At the top of that mountain is this, what looks sort of like the sun, but it's not really the sun. It's kind of dark too, so it's kind of like mysterious. Well, that's sort of like the world, right? The world is, in a way, right, like you're seeing what lies at the top of that mountain. You're looking ahead. You are looking at the future, okay, of what you want to create. Foresight, vision, which is a beautiful time during the new moon in Aquarius, because Aquarius is forward thinking. Aquarius thinks to the future. It's very progressive. So you have a backing of energy as you pursue this, as you move forward in this. Yes, Taurus. You're looking towards the world that you are hoping to create in a very vivacious way, in a very positive, enthusiastic way. Yeah. Now on the right side, I'm looking at these as sort of like a cascade. okay, moving upward. And then you have this Seven of Swords off on the right, which is mirroring the Two of Swords, right? So if we look at these two together, they look like this, with the World in the middle at the top. Okay. I'm seeing Taurus, that you're making a sort of decision, right? And it can even be in terms of your vision for something. And I'm sensing that, okay, this cascading effect upwards. I don't think you can see these, but okay. I'm seeing this as sort of a cascade, like 1, 2, 3, right? Moving like that, moving like that. Sorry, reverse actually, like this. Cascading to the world. And mirroring this card here is the Seven of Swords. So I'm getting that there is this sort of push of energy that's propelling you forward, that's motivating you. Motivating, that's the word. Motivating you to pursue the world and what you want to create. Okay? So this is the sort of vision, the visionary aspect in your mind. And then, right, as we cascade up to the vision and down, sort of into, okay, well, how are we going to enact that? How are we going to move forward in a practical way, in a tangible way, in a like a smart way, so to speak, like, because the swords speak to thoughts, the intellectual mind, the rational mind, right? And so you're going from a Two of Swords in your vision, in your visionary sort of train of thought, line of thought, and cascading direction, to the Seven. It's almost like, ideally, right, this is the ideal world. This is the vision. This is the aha moment, right? Like, the world is mine, I'm gonna pursue it. And then you go to a Seven. This is like the real world, in a way. The real world. It's like, not the real world, it's the practical steps that are needed to be taken in order to manifest this, in a way. So I'm seeing, right, that you're putting a lot of vision into what you want to create, and then you're moving into the rumination, right, on how to pursue it in the best way. There's contemplation happening, definitely, but you have the vision behind you, yes, which is a great time to have that during the new moon period, especially, right? This is when the seeds are germinating, we're planting the seeds. So having that vision, right, that the intention with which we plant those seeds seems that you definitely do have that intention and that motivation. Okay, but you're now, what you're thinking about is how, in actuality, you're going to strategically, it's strategy. That's what you are working towards. Strategically moving forward, the strategic steps. And these arrows are pointing in this direction. But you're thinking about each one of those options. You're thinking about the strategy very carefully, I'm seeing here, okay? So you're taking one option, you're thinking about it a lot, okay? You're being very methodical, very thoughtful, and you're very clear and resolute on the direction that you want to go in Taurus. So here's to the planting of a new stage for you, a new journey, and it's a wonderful time to do it. Feel free to tune into your ascendant or your moon sign. Sometimes those can be just as accurate as your sun sign, if not more. So if you don't know those signs for yourself, you can click the link below and put in some information and figure them out that way. Otherwise, have a great new moon, Taurus, and I'll see you in February. Hold on, Taurus. We thought it was over. I was going to close it out, but the Daughter of Swords just popped out. Okay? So, hey, that's to you. It's a foreshadowing. You're stepping into, right, major action in terms of what it is you're hoping to start. So, awesome. Bye, Taurus. Gemini. I'm sensing you guys are like hopping. Like you're almost like, it's like a rhythm is playing and you guys are hopping to the rhythm. Like you're hopping to the beat. You're like getting in sync. I feel like you're getting in sync with something. It's almost like something wasn't working, something wasn't going your way in some way, and now you're like going with the flow of it. You're like, okay, well, if it's not gonna bend that way, I'm gonna bend with it, in a way. Okay, and see where it takes me. Okay, I think you're done resisting is the feeling that I'm getting, okay? This card wants to come out. Yes. Beautiful time to pull this card, guys. Judgment. Rising above. Look, these are like the ashes, right? It's like the darkness. The dark period. The new moon. You can't really see it, huh? Okay. And this bird is with expansive wings, rising above the ashes, ascending into the day's break. I mean, it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. And I think what you're doing is you are rising above a situation that left you in the dark, that disempowered you, and you're really deciding to go with the flow. And go with the flow, spread your wings, fly. You know, instead of standing there and being like, I don't like this song, you're now just like, all right, like you're dancing and you're just getting the energy moving and out, right? Instead of letting it affect you and like attack you almost, you're now like letting it out and you're moving with it and you're just letting that fire element speak through you, okay? I'm feeling like that's a message. Ooh, yes, the Mother of Wands. You got this in your February reading. Interesting. I feel like one more card wants to come out. I'm going to pull it. Okay, Gemini. Okay, you have two major arcana. Judgment, the Lovers in reverse. Judgment, I'm feeling is in regards to perhaps a situation that did not pan out in the way that you thought it would, okay, in the past. There's some sort of situation that left a bad taste in your mouth that you were like, I don't know about that. That doesn't make me feel too good. You're deciding to fly above it, and you're going to fly alone, and you know what? You're going to be okay with that. You're going to be okay with that, okay? If you look at these two cards together, there are two doves here. Sorry, guys, I'm on a Mac, and it's like reverses the camera, so I'm like, I look confused is what I look. But here we go. Okay, this card here has two doves, right? Flying together in synchrony and harmony. Just lovebirds, right? Lovebirds. This bird is like flying alone. He's flying straight up into the atmosphere. Okay? I'm getting that there was a rhythm that was playing, so to speak, between you and this person. And it wasn't the sort of rhythm that you were enjoying. It was like annoying. And there was something not in sync with the situation between you and this person. And instead of like dealing with that and being like, I don't really like the situation, what's going on, I'm not happy with this. Instead, you're like, I'm gonna just fly on my own. But I'm gonna still fly. I'm gonna still dance, right? But I'm not going to like try and make this work the way that I think it should work and the way that I ideally in my dream world would think it would work or would like it to work, right? You're now like rising above it in a way where you're really maturing, right? And you're gaining a sense of your independence, okay, even. But you're looking at the situation with greater clarity, right? With a more open mind, okay, rather than sort of an insistence to perfect a situation, to make it the way you want, right? If the rhythm isn't moving the way you want it to, you move yourself to your own rhythm. That's kind of what I'm getting, right? Okay, Gemini. Instead of, I'm getting this feeling strongly. I need to tell you this. Instead of trying to change like two people, right, have a frequency. When they come together, that they create a frequency. Instead of trying to make that frequency different than what it is in a way that's like consistent, is like, I've gotta make it this way, it's gotta work, right? That kind of thing. Instead of taking that approach, you are now realizing, you know what? I can dance to my own tune. I have my own rhythm. And you know what? I don't need to make it work with this situation that doesn't. I don't need to put myself in that position, right? Of like just wanting to fly with someone else. I'm going to fly on my own, all right? So that's a great time to do it during the new moon. I mean, just breaking free from these previous restrictions and situations and things like that, all right? Now, at the very top, you have the Mother of Wands. I think this indeed came out in your February, okay? And I think that we were speaking to a sort of rising above, yet again, from a situation that kind of restricted your sense of inner vitality, passion, drive, confidence, okay? And you're now regaining that. You are now reclaiming your your sense of independence, and there's a nurturing side that you now have with regards to yourself, okay? You're now seeing yourself in a different light, right? As like, I'm going to protect who I am. I'm going to protect my personal identity, right? Instead of trying to sacrifice who I really am and change my tune or my vibration or my rhythm to match and make this work, okay? You're now stepping beyond that and stepping into your own self-nurturing, independent, creative, vivacious power, okay? And on the right-hand side, we have the Three of Pentacles, speaking to the earth element, speaking to stability, groundedness. So I'm getting that in rising above from the situation. And this is ironic, right? This is the irony of it. In rising up, or the apparent irony, in rising up from this situation, inherently brings you stability and groundedness, but in a true way, in a way that is that forms the foundation, that speaks to the basis, okay, that forms the basis of your groundedness, okay. So thank you so much, Gemini. Feel free to tune in to your ascendant or moon sign. Sometimes those are just as accurate, if not more. So if you don't know your ascendant or your moon sign, there's a link in the description box. You can click it and calculate your signs there. Otherwise, I hope you have a great new moon, and I'll see you in February. Bye, Gemini. Next we have Cancer. There's a shuffling of steps, Cancer. almost like losing your balance about something. Something is like trips you up a little bit, like maybe like shock factor a little bit. Okay, yes. Losing your sense of groundedness or balance with something you're not sure about. Like, I think you need to follow your intuition about something. You are the third sign to get this card, the Eight of Pentacles. Both speaking to groundedness. Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. I believe Capricorn got the Eight of Pentacles, and Aquarius, yes, got the Eight of Pentacles. So if that applies to you in any way, you may know someone with those signs, or you may have those signs as your moon or your ascendant, then you might want to check it out. Okay. Otherwise, it's really speaking to focus, relentless hard work, okay, on what brings us what brings us a sense of groundedness and stability. Interesting. You have two butterflies. You have them both in reverse. Okay. What I'm getting, Cancer, is that you are just focusing really hard on, and you know what? You got this card in your February reading as well, I believe, and perhaps in your January, but you're focusing so hard, so micro zoomed into what you're working on, or the web that you're weaving with something, some sort of entanglement that you have, be it a project or a family or group of people, anything, right? The company that you work for, okay, or the business that you own, right? Either way, you're sort of bogged down with a great sense of responsibility on your shoulders. You feel like you need to focus on something and focus on it hard, and even if you wanted to sort of escape that situation or fly above it, you really can't. That's how you feel, I'm getting, okay? There's some, and I'm sensing that it's coming in from the long term, all right? Something that you've worked on for a while, right? You're spinning this web, and your focus is on accumulating, on bringing something to fruition, okay? That's what I'm sensing. Bringing something to completion. You need to, you feel. Now, on either side, you have the element of flight, but flight in reverse, okay? Butterfly and butterfly. This is the Six of Wands. This is the Two of Pentacles. So this card usually speaks to transformation. It speaks to sort of the chrysalis effect, right? Rising above a situation, an old way of doing things, reinventing the way we do things even, right? And it's a very airy card, right? It's almost like a breath of fresh air, right? The butterfly is rising above this pile of rubble of wands and branches, dead branches, and just there's color now, right? So I feel like you're waiting to take this breath. You are waiting on this transformation of your being. You want to fly free. You want to be without restriction, okay, from it. But you're not quite there yet because you feel you need to focus on this. Because you feel that you are inherently either indebted to this situation or you're tied to it in some way. You're not able to release yourself from the situation. And that may give you a lack of sense of groundedness, right? If you look at this, lack of sense of groundedness within yourself, right? Because you can have, and I spoke about this concept with Aries, okay? You can have a sense of groundedness and stability in things, right? Feeling that the more we accumulate, the more we feel stable, right? The more things we have, the more we feel safe or grounded or worthy in any way, right? But then you can have the sense of groundedness and stability within yourself, right? Naturally, right? Having a sense of groundedness and sense of strength, of character, of our connectedness to ourself, to our intuition, right? Through that, we are able to achieve true self-sufficiency that the Pentacles cards speak to as well, right? Being successful, the accumulation of wealth, the successes. But I mean, it's interesting because it's a double-edged sword, right? The more we accumulate, the more we have, the more responsibility, the more indebted we feel, the more weighed down. Earth is a heavy element. It's the slowest moving element. This is the 8 of Pentacles. It's a heavy earth energy. This is a lot of pentacles. This is a lot of responsibility. But look at this butterfly, right? It's just 2 of pentacles, just 2, but it's balanced, right? And it's free. But most important of all, this butterfly is free to fly, right? So, but it's in reverse. So I'm feeling that, you're almost like so focused on accumulation rather than inherent sense of security and balance, okay? And this, being so zoomed in and focused on this, almost in a narrow-minded, micro-focus sort of way, is what's actually not allowing you, right, to be free, okay? And have this transformation that you want and take this breath of fresh air and this step forward. All right. Yes. Thank you so much, Cancer. I hope that was helpful for you in some kind of way. And feel free to check out your ascendant or your moon sign. Sometimes those are just as accurate, if not more, than your sun sign. If you don't know what those signs are, then you can click the link in the bio below, or the description below, sorry, and that will compute for you your rising sign, your ascendant sign, and your moon sign, all right? So until then, thank you so much for tuning in, Cancer. Have a great new moon, a wonderful start to this new journey ahead, and I'll see you in February. Next we have Leo. All right, Leo. Are you gonna surprise someone with something? I don't know why I'm feeling that. You're gonna surprise someone, aren't you? You're gonna surprise someone with something. I'm getting that feeling of boo, here I am, but you're laughing about it. You're getting a kick out of it almost. You're excited for it. You want to see the reaction. Okay. Maybe it's something you've been planning for a while. Yes, you've been planning for a while. Okay. And you're done with the planning. Done. Done with all the hard work. It seems that you've put a lot of hard work into something. It's now at a 10. It's now culminating. You are now ready to present it in a way. Okay? It's ready to come out. Interesting. You got the Hangman. Interesting. I don't know why I'm feeling I need to pull you another card. I will. Okay. So, Leo. You have the very first card that popped out, the 10 of Wands. Wands speaking to fire, speaking to action, speaking to day in, day out energy, fast moving energy, okay? So I sense that you have been working towards something, okay, voraciously almost. and it's now at the culminating point. Okay, you're ready to enter the new phase, or present something. Okay, you put all of the back end work in, and you're now ready to enter the next stage of the development, perhaps even. Okay. You then got the Hanged Man, which speaks to suspension, which speaks to waiting, needing to wait for the right time, right, in due course. Okay. The Hanged Man speaks to almost knowing that day will come, and I'll show you the card. It's this bat, right, hanging upside down, suspended in the darkness, with red eyes, bulging eyes, like waiting for the day to come. Okay, that's how I'm feeling it with you guys. Waiting to unleash something, that's what I'm feeling. All right. Okay. Now, inherently, in the Hanged Man card, you have, right, what's depicted is the natural cycle, in a way, of life, of how, of a process, okay? Needing to wait until the sun comes up, right? Inherently, you need to experience night in order for day to come. So, I'm getting that you can't wait, like you are eager, you really want, you're excited, you want to unleash something, you're ready in a way to present something, you're ready to, you're ready. You're like staying up at night, like, not literally perhaps, but you're like, you know when someone can't wait, it's like the day before school or something, an exciting event, and you can't sleep at night. You're just like waiting for the sun to come up, kind of like that, okay? Figuratively, right? You're like, you're ready, all right, for, the cycle is over, but now it's the aftermath, right? That requires a waiting period of some sort until you can unleash it. That's what I'm getting. You have to wait for the right time. That's what it is, Leo. You have to wait for the right time. Okay. Before this, though, you came to a decision, right? You came to the decision on how you were going to move forward once this was done. Or you decided to finish something, and now you're waiting to present it, okay? So I'm sensing a decision was made to bring things to a close, and now you have to wait until you can bring it forward. Now, in the very, I'm getting this as like past energy, the distant past. You have the Nine of Swords, all right? And that was leading into the Two of Swords. That is not properly oriented at all. Okay, here we go. Nine of Swords leading into the Two of Swords. So, I'm sensing that in the past, there was a lot of thought, almost to a degree of like, just overwhelming thoughts or contemplation about what to do, how to proceed, how to do things, right? Meticulous, even losing your sense of perception and trying to figure out what to do, right? With maybe this process. But then you came to a decision. You went to the Two of Swords. You're like, this is it. I'm doing it, closing out, putting all my wands in. The process is done, coming to completion, and now I'm in a phase of waiting. I'm in a phase of remission from the process in a way, allowing the natural process to to move as it does and allow for the next stage to take place, okay? Which is a great time during the new moon, right? To kind of settle into that period of even introspection, right? Sometimes we need to take that period, even if we feel ready to do something right here, right now, gonna do it, gonna close it out, gonna, whatever it is. Sometimes it's good, right? When we're forced sometimes even to wait, okay? Because that gives us further insight oftentimes on how to proceed. So thank you so much, Leo. I hope this was helpful to you. Feel free to tune into your ascendant, rising, or your moon sign. If you don't know what those are, then you can click the link below in the description box and enter your birth information, and it'll calculate it for you. Sometimes those planets and luminaries, they help give you just as accurate, if not more accurate, insights. All right, so check that out if you wish. Until then, I'll see you in February. Bye, Leo. All right, we're moving on to to Virgo. The suspension, so much waiting. Let me tune into you guys here. Virgo, are you waiting on something? Maybe you're waiting on something. Maybe you're at a loss of words with something. There's sort of like a quietness. A quietness, maybe. Like, it's almost like you're on the phone with someone and it's like, you're like, hello? And then it's silent. And you're like waiting. You're waiting. That's the sort of feeling that I'm getting. Waiting in the quietness, waiting in the stillness to see what you hear, to see what you see. But like paying close attention, okay? But not saying anything at the same time. All right? Here we go. That yes. Oh, interesting. Leo just got the Hanged Man, and there was a period. There was a theme of waiting with Leo as well. So you might want to check that segment out, if that pertains to you. If you know a Leo archetype type of person, could be their moon or ascendant sign as well, or if it's your ascendant or moon. All right. Okay. I want to pull one more card for you guys. Wow. Virgo, definitely check out the Leo reading, please, because you got two of their same cards. Two of those same cards that Leo got. Leo got the 10 of Wands, and it's the one right before you guys. Okay, Leo came right before you. So, and Leo got the Hanged Man. You are staying up at night waiting, Virgo. You're waiting for the completion of something. You are waiting with razor sharp focus, but you're waiting in silence. You're waiting quietly. You are, you're almost like, you're serious, Virgo. You're focused as well, okay? It's almost like you know something is coming. There's something underneath that's not being shown that you are wondering about, that you're focusing on, okay? perhaps. That speaks to some of you. Now, on either side, you have the reversed Ten of Cups and the reversed Seven of Wands. So you're waiting to unleash your true emotions. You are like done with a situation. You don't want to rekindle something. You're like hopeless about it almost, I'm feeling. You're ready to like extinguish the fire with all of this water. The Ten of Cups just dumped upside down. Okay, you're ready to sort of put an end to something and express what's really on your mind. But you're hanging loose. You're silent in the middle of it, kind of, okay? You're just like waiting. All right, and I see on the bottom of the deck here, I don't usually read these, I guess, for this mini reading, but I'm looking at it now. It's a Nine of Pentacles. So you have a lot of culminating energy. You have 2 10s and you have a 9 in your reading. So you could be closing out, bringing something to culmination, right? Something even financially, a financial aspect to it, okay? Thank you for tuning in, Virgo. I hope this reading was helpful for you. Feel free to tune in to your ascendant or your moon sign as well. If you don't know what those are, feel free to click the link below in the description box and that will calculate it for you, all right? Have a great new moon period and a beautiful start to the new moon phase. So until then, I'll see you in February. Bye, Virgo. Here we go. It is now Libra's turn. Hey, Libra. See. I see you like smiling and like looking off in the distance. Almost like an enamored feeling. Ooh. Libra. Ay, ay, ay. You're like in love. Like that's kind of how I feel. Like drunk in love, like that's kind of the feeling. Okay. Oh yeah. The Fool. Upright. Just looking with like open eyes, fresh eyes at the world around you, just ready to take this new step and this new stage and this new journey. There's a freshness to this energy. Okay, you're ready to take the first step forward. Okay, and it doesn't have to be in love with someone. It could be just being inspired, right? To take a step forward in a new direction. Okay, just finding the beauty in everything around you. You know those times, those moments when sometimes just everything seems beautiful and you're just walking down the street. You could be walking in the most plain Jane sort of neighborhood or area or whatever it is, where you don't usually look and find inspiration, but one day like you're walking down that area and you everything seems beautiful to you, and that's how I'm feeling, right? It's a new dawn of a new day. That's the message that's coming through. Okay. Wow. Oh my God. I want to pull another one for you guys. Beautiful cards. Libra. Leo might have something to do with this. Maybe. I just said that, so who knows, right? Could be some sort of crossing of paths with a Leo type, but you have the sun and you have it in reverse, so we'll get into that, but you have the Three of Wands in reverse as well, but we'll get to that. And you have the Son of Swords. So much fast-paced movement of energy. Lots of fire on here. Lots of excitement, inspiration, open-mindedness, absolutely, Libra, absolutely, okay? And that's beautiful. That's beautiful because during the new moon, right, it's usually a period of darkness, of introspection, of going within, right, of sifting through the shadows, right? It's a lot of that kind of work. But you have the sun. You have this very portal-like energy, right? One that's entrancing, that's enticing. You have the Fool, right? It's the very first major arcana card. It's the first step that this baby chick takes on the journey of even independence, okay? Of discovering themselves. There's so much light. So I'm sensing that you're ready, right? I'm hearing a few things. One is commitment to love. You're ready for the commitment to love, to this journey, to this new path. I'm getting that for some. For others, I'm getting you are ready to change the way you look at things. You're ready to change your perspective and your perception of your surroundings, of your environment, of the way you take the situation. You are slowly but surely, your environment is changing to you in a way. The opportunities are coming forward to you by way of this change in your perception and your perspective. Okay. The Son of Swords, upright. Ooh, interesting. The Son of Swords, I mean, it's a very sharp energy. Look at the card, right? It's this owl swooping down with a sword, and he's swooping right into this Three of Wands. All right? Speaking to a sort of portal energy, right? But it's like untapped. You're looking at the portal from afar. You're not yet in the portal, and it's in reverse. So it's almost as if coming forward, right? Coming forward into the near future is this energy of going after, with wisdom, this new world and this new journey. Pursuing your creativity, you're really entering, that's what I'm feeling. This is a period of rebirth, of entering the next leg of your journey. Okay, actually it goes like this, with the Son of Swords flying into this card here, almost like piercing through it, like rather directly, okay? You're taking it. You're taking what's yours. You're pursuing it adamantly, right? There are no hesitations about that. You're ready for this new beginning, all right? It's a beautiful time to do it too, Libra. Beautiful time. The new moon, plant these new seeds. It's a very fertile energy, right? In terms of what we want to set our intentions for, what we want to manifest, what we want to bring forward. And it seems that you're really doing that with hope and clear vision and impetus that's really attached to a greater sense of overall optimism and foresight, all right? And connectedness to your personal transformation in that, right? Seeing how your perception affects sort of the world around you, what you create and what you bring forward, realizing that it's really up to you, right? And you have the power to create the world that you want to. All right, so thank you so much, Libra, for tuning in, as you always do. And feel free to check out your ascendant, your rising, or your moon sign. If you don't know what those are, then feel free to click the link below in the description box, enter in your details for your birth time, things like that, and then it'll compute it for you. All right, so that sometimes tends to be just as accurate, if not more accurate, than your sun sign. Right? See you in February, Libra. Bye. We're moving on to Scorpio. How's it going, Scorp? I feel like you have something to say, but you're like waiting to say it. Or you're waiting to do it. You have the Mother of Wands. You're like biding your time. You're biding your time, waiting to say something or do something. Son of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Okay, Scorpio. Mother of Wands up top, the first card we pulled. At the bottom of the Mother of Wands is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. On the right-hand side, we have the Son of Swords, upright. On the left side, we have the Son of Cups in reverse. Two suns on either side, framing the reading. Okay, Scorpio. Son of Cups in reverse. I usually see this card as sort of like the shy artist type. Okay, water, cups, emotions, our innermost self. Okay, beginning like that really fresh new stage, that first foray into our path of self-expression, right? One that is true to us, one that we really resonate with, one that is real to us, okay? Now, it's almost like also the Poet's card, okay? This dove, or the swan, here, I'll show you. Take a look, if you can. The lighting is a little obstructive here. Okay, cool. You can kind of see it. This swan, it's almost like he has this cup, right? Just budding, filled with these, what looks like different colored paintbrushes. Okay, but they're not used yet. They haven't been painted with yet. They are waiting to be used, waiting to be put to paper, placed on canvas. This card, right, save the colors that are within the chalice, is like only of black and white hue. There's no color anywhere else on the card. So there's a sense of reservation, right, with the expression that's made. It's almost like, what's sticking out to me here on this cup is almost like very fine writing. Almost like the writing of a letter. Okay, but with so many colors, with so many options of how to write it, what color to write it in, that kind of thinking, right? Just the sketchings we see on the cup. Now, so it's in reverse. Okay, so it could be that there's a period of great rumination, right? And even reservation, shyness, in terms of the expression of something. Okay, there's something that you want to express, but that you're not actively taking the pen to the paper, beginning on that journey. Okay. This is interesting, Scorpio. Okay, you have, okay, that's one aspect. You then have the Mother of Wands laid over the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Both of these cards have a theme of circularity to them. Okay, the Mother of Wands depicts this mother snake coiled about her baby eggs with this sort of wand of defense, right? Piercing right through the middle of that. Okay, it's sort of like the wand that she's not afraid to use. But she's not using it yet. She's just kind of watching from afar, right? Waiting for the moment until she strikes, when she needs to defend her territory, her eggs, her babies, her let me tune in, Scorpio. Think about the mother, right? The mother has to wait a long period of time for her eggs to mature, to hatch. It's very procedural, and you are at the mercy of nature's process of time, of place, right? In a way, you can't really plan. You can't plan. And you don't know. You can only wait and watch from afar, right? And hope that it sort of happens, right? That it happens before, in a way, something happens to you. It's a rather defensive period, okay? Before the birth, right? Before the birth, there's this period of waiting and almost like in a paranoid way, okay? On standby, Scorpio. That is the phrase that's calling out to me here very strongly. On standby, vigilant, awake at night, right? It's something you're guarding fiercely. You have a lot that is waiting to come out. But you are waiting for the turning of time, of fate. Okay, you're waiting for the wheel to turn until you for the moment that you know is right. Okay, but you inherently feel out of control with that. You inherently feel out of control. You feel that you do not control that process. You do not control the hatching of your eggs, right? You can only wait. You feel somehow that you're tied to the turning of time, the wheel of fortune, right? The way that the wheel turns, it's kind of like the wheel turns when it's supposed to, when it does, where it does, right? That sort of thinking. Like it's going to happen when it's supposed to, when it's meant to. So I'm getting like, and if you look at these two cards, the Mother of Swords is looking down with a straight line of vision into this Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it's kind of like, Scorpio, like you feel this wheel is not turned upside yet. You feel it's not the right time yet. but you're waiting, you're vigilant, you're like, these eggs are gonna burst. When are they gonna burst? That kind of thing. Okay? And the Wheel of Fortune is a 10, speaking to culmination. So you're waiting for this culmination. You're waiting for this birth to happen. Okay, you've, been waiting to express and come forthright with that. But moving into this card here, the Son of Swords, right? You're at the mercy of fate. That's what I feel you're feeling, right? Of course, depending on what belief you subscribe to and everything. But that's the message that's coming through. And moving into the Son of Swords card, it's almost as if I'm getting a very cyclical feeling. Like, I want to do this, but I'm waiting for this. I want to do that, but it depends on this. And this is not ready, so this is not ready. So I have to wait, and then I have to do... It's like you're stuck spinning in a cycle. Okay? You're waiting, all right? So you're moving into the Son of Swords energy from the Mother of Wands, right? Speaking to this sort of impetus, this desire to almost like pierce through. Look at these two cards. Look at these two cards, Scorpio. I'm on a Mac, so everything is reversed, and I look really confused. Okay. Here we go. Yes. Look, it's almost as if this Son of Swords wants to fly straight into having some technical difficulties into this Wheel of Fortune. Like this, okay? And pierce right through it, almost like I'm gonna force this thing to burst. I'm gonna stop it, this cycle, and I'm going to just force the process to happen. But then you get spun. You get spun, right? Because the Wheel of Fortune is not upright, because it's not kind of the right time you're feeling, because you feel inherently, right, that you're at the mercy of fate, that you're at the mercy of the turning of time. You feel like you can't just go for it. You can't just do it. Something is holding you back. You feel very much tied to your ability to express is very much tied to, and your ability to release is very much tied to feeling that it's the right time, knowing that it's the right time intuitively even, okay? Yes, intuitively. So you have the Son of Cups, the Son of Swords, both speaking to the journey forward. One, in regards to our emotional expression, the softer nature, and two, the Son of Swords, which is speaking to the sort of, first of all, the air element, intellectual rapport, conversation, the spoken word, right? So with emotional sentimentalism, that's in reverse, that's inhibited, that's repressed, we have the desire to speak. This is a very sharp energy, right? It's a very adamant energy, focused, desirous, right? The owl is almost going after the prey, right? And there's no stopping this owl. Look at this owl here. So it's like, in terms of what you want to do, you want to go after what you want. You want this wheel to turn. But you don't feel that it's turned yet. You know that it's not yet turned here. Okay? At the base of everything, at the base of the whole thing is this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, is the need for time to allow for the natural process to awaken when it's supposed to. All right? Thank you so much, Scorpio, for tuning in. Feel free to check out your moon or your rising ascendant sign. Sometimes those are more accurate, if not just as accurate as your sun. So if you don't know those two, feel free to check the link below, click on the link, fill out your information of your birth time and things like that, and it'll let you know what your signs are for those planets and luminaries. All right, have a great new moon. Plant those seeds. Here's to a wonderful new lunar cycle. And until then, I will see you, Scorpio, in February. Bye. All right. We are moving into Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. How's it going? Happy new moon. Sag, I see you guys like with a highlighter and glasses on, reading glasses on. Like sitting under the lamplight at a desk at night. And reading papers, studying something closely, something you're passionate about, something you're interested in, right? It's almost like staying up at night because you want to, because you're excited, because you can't sleep, because you're excited about whatever it is that you're learning about. Okay, things are coming in order for you. That's what I'm feeling. There's order. Things are coming in order. I want to pull one more for you, Sag. I'm feeling that. Wow, Sagittarius. Okay. Things are definitely coming into order for you. Beautiful. You're taking command. You're taking reign. You're taking control of your destiny, of your life, of the direction and the path that you're moving in. It's very much tied to your personal transformation. It's very much tied to the harnessing of your elements, right? Of your being, of the different aspects and the different skills that you have, okay? You are learning about yourself. You're learning who you are. You're learning about your destiny and your journey forward, what you want to do, what you're meant to do in a way, right? Depending on the belief that you subscribe to. But regardless, Sagittarius, you're coming forward with fire. You're coming forward with passion. You feel confident with this new beginning, whatever it may be. But it's definitely tied to this new understanding, this awakening of yourself, awakening to your potential, awakening to the awareness that you are a manifester, that you are the alchemist of your world, okay? You're looking forward to the future, right? With that, with this new understanding. You have two Wands cards. You have the Father of Wands, which is the absolute pinnacle of the Wands expression. It's the highest form of expression of the Wands element. So you're really you're in command. You're in control of the situation. You're confident. You know where you're going. You feel like you know where you're going. You're moving forward. You're taking action. You're commanding. You're organizing. You're strategizing, right? You're overseeing the process. Even if it's your own process, even if it's your own doing. And this has all come about due to your waking up to your personal power, waking up to your truth, right? The revelation of your being and of your abilities. Okay? Then at the very, very top of your reading, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. almost like pointing straight down into the Magician. Let me show you these two cards. That's some pretty anchored energy, Sag. Okay. I mean, you are really holding in the stake here. Really holding in the stake. It seems that you're preparing to take a final first step forward in a way that is spoken, in a way that is expressed verbally or any other means of communication. In any way, you are preparing for the release of, in a way, this newfound identity. You're ready to like show it to the world in a way. I mean, you have two aces. This is beautiful, Sag. You have two aces. Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, Ace of Swords leading into the Ace of Wands. You're getting ready for something, the release of something that is very much dependent on this new sense of this newfound identity. Okay, that you've discovered, the self-discovery. So you're waiting to come out with that. Okay, you're taking control of the situation. And once you do release it to the world, so to speak, that's what I'm sensing, right? Staking a claim. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is me. This is, right, like it or not, this is what it is. And it's tied to my intuition, and it's tied to who I am. It's tied to my journey. It's tied to what I believe. Like, you are really passionate about this, Sag. It's like rather emotional. I mean, there is a fire boiling up from you. There's you have something to share with the world. You have something to say to the world, and it's the presentation of this new perception of existence that you've had. Okay, so and once you do speak about it, it seems that you're going to really begin the new journey. Okay, ahead in a tangible way, taking the motions, right? Orchestrating, right? You have the Father of Wands. It's like a very orchestrating type of energy, as is the Magician. Both of these cards are looking off into the future as I'm reading it here. Looking over at the Ace of Swords, looking over at the Ace of Wands. So you have a lot of backing, even in terms of yourself, okay, that's looking forward at this new beginning. It's almost like all eyes on this new beginning, right? Father of Wands is ready. The Magician is ready. Once you start this thing, all systems go. All systems go. Okay? You're ready. You're ready to do it. You're ready to do it. Okay? You're just waiting for the right time to say what you need to say, to do what you need to do. But you're right at the brink. You're right at the brink and you're ready to do it, okay? You're getting ready to do it. Thank you, Sag, so much for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. Feel free to tune in to your ascendant, rising, or moon sign. Oftentimes, those will be pretty accurate, if not more accurate than your sun sign. I know I tend to resonate more with my moon sign. So yeah, if you don't know your moon or your rising sign, you can click the link below in the description box. Fill out your information there with your birth time and your birthday, and it will compute it for you. All right? So thank you so much again, Sag. Here's to a wonderful new journey ahead. Seems like a beautiful one for you guys. And until then, I will see you in February. All right. Bye, Sag.